What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Runers. My name is Splattercat. We are playing the Ranger here in our final run through Runers. I'm still going to play the game, but I might not record it. That's just the thing. We got to like move on to lots of other indie games. There's so many things to cover coming up. Like Christmas is going to be wild. My Christmases tend to get a little bit wild anyways. I have like a very Christmassy family. Oh my god. And so that quick deployment right there is why I absolutely love, 100% love. Like that doesn't even, I don't know, adore maybe would be the next word that I would upgrade to. Molten Lake, right there. If you get one of those rooms that's just covered in bats that tend to like jump you and deal a ton of just gank damage right at the beginning of a room, that is why I like Molten Lake right there, is because you can just drop it at your feet, huddle down for a second, and it should kill off all the little enemies that are picking at you. The 10% damage I'm not really interested in right now. Ooh, latent energy in your skin that knocks back any that touch you. Yeah, let's go with latent force. That seems pretty awesome. It's got the word lay in it, so how could it not be awesome, right? It's gotta be at least a little bit awesome. We got a couple of hearts left in here that we can fall back on just in case we need them. We're on floor 3, so there is the possibility that we might draw a boss that'll just rough us up a tiny little bit. Sandstorm! Oh yeah, it does hurt. I mean, I don't know why you would spec your character out to destroy boxes, but you can do it if you want to. Do I have anything over? Yeah, I can't do anything right there. Doesn't matter. Okay, so back in we go. I'm going to drop a... Ooh, I'm going to drop that right there. Just kind of to deal damage to the... There we go. Just to get rid of that lycanthrope that's running around causing us all kinds of problems. That was the name of one of the bands that we played with a while back. I used to like play in a heavy metal band for a long time, and we toured and we won Battle of the Bands and things like that, and then just sort of like fell apart because I think if you spend any amount of people, like you spend any amount of time with like a similar person for years, I think it's being trapped in a small space with those other people and not being able to escape for a long time. Ultimately, you're going to end up like hating each other. It just sort of happens. And so I'm going to drop that right there. And this is another reason why I like Molten Lake. It is useful for the escort quest. Oh my god, there are stink clouds everywhere. I think that's it. He should be ready to go now. He's gonna say like, thank you! You saved my life! What was I doing down here in the dungeon anyways? I'm clearly not an adventurer. And so there's our new trait that we get for leveling up, and then we'll also get one for completing the challenge as well. We can get that sphincter right there. Cause a force on enemies. Lose 10% damage. All your bullets gain 5% slow. No, not at all. I'll probably go with rune drop chance up by 10%, and then I'll probably increase my critical chance using the escort event. And then we'll grab that right there. We've got a double combiner, so we're good to go. And hopefully we'll get a whole bunch more runes that I can play around with in this run through. I'm not really trying to do anything outside what I've already planned. I think I mentioned that in the previous episode, but I'm trying to keep it sort of... I'm trying to keep my build a little bit tighter on this one, just to make sure that I have, like, some sort of progression. I found a number of abilities that tend to work really, really well, and so I'm sticking with them for right now. Alright, so we got a bunch of enemies down in here. We'll drop that, deal a little bit of damage to the guys that are wandering. Try not to get hit by any giant mud balls. And as you can see, it stays there for a long time. Even if it only does like 2 damage per second, it still is dealing something to the people that are standing there. The enemies in this game don't tend to have like enormous health pools outside of bosses. So with bosses, you want to center that ability because at the beginning it does like 15 damage a second. Basically, as it spreads out, the damage gets lower and lower and lower. And it's probably, I think it's maybe one of my favorite abilities in the game as of right now. I mean, I find myself kind of speccing into it every single time I play in all of my playthroughs. If I make a new profile, it's like the first thing I try and unlock and so forth after I kill a boss because it is quite good. I need to get rid of this little demon spawner over here. I can't be having nasty little... I almost said Nosferatu, but I can't have nasty little incubi running around all over the place like ruining my day. It's difficult to have house guests over when you have incubi running around. Why I'm having house guests in a dungeon that I'm currently trying to clear, I'm not really sure. I've just turned it into a permanent residence. I figure we might as well make use of all of this space. Looks like there's a water rune around here somewhere. Oh no, an earth rune. Okay. With the earth rune, is there anything I can do with that? Make sandstorm better. I mean, sandstorm is not really my favorite spell, but have I done... Let's play around with shock spells real fast. I could make chain lightning better, but we haven't done some of these, so... we'll just make chain lightning better. There we go. So it's only splitting by 40% now. Or it's losing 40% of its damage when it jumps. We'll kind of... I'm hoping we can get 4 or 5 more of these before we get too far into the dungeon. What have I done with earth? Have I done earth and light? I have not. So let's do earth and light just for experimentation purposes. Light snare. Shoots a beam of light that snares the target, making them unable to move. Okay. Has situational uses. I'll store it. And then I've seen both light and light, I think. I don't know. Let me see. I was going to say, it would be weird if I hadn't done double light at this point. So yeah, we've done double light. I may have done it in one of my personal playthroughs. I don't know if I've ever had that actually on screen. Essentially all fairy light is. What is going on over here? Oh, hell. Okay. Alright. I see what's up. They're going to try and rush me. They're getting a little bit of their MS warrior on right now. No! No! Oh, they stun you too. That's even less pleasant. My god. Well then, it is a good thing that we have something left that we can fall back on with regards to hearts, because those guys hurt me very, very deeply. I think it might have been the enormous laser swords of death. Then again, they said some hurtful things while they were hitting me too, so I think that it's probably one and the other. There's physical pain, there's emotional pain. By and large, I think I'm going to need a therapist by the time I get out of here. I'm either going to need a therapist or I'm going to need a mortician. One or the other. Let's grab some extra health, because we are actually looking a little bit low. And I would suggest that we fight the boss now rather than gambling on more rooms. Yeah, that's my point right there, actually. Let's get rid of this little Satan spawner. There we go. Got rid of that thing. I think we'll still come out ahead. We've got a lot of gank rooms on this playthrough. We keep getting rooms that just bum rush us the second that we join in. I've noticed that along the way. We've had a lot of gank rooms this time. We'll increase the damage of our Delta spreader a little bit. What have I done with... Oh, and then we got that right there. Okay, so we got it down to 35% split. If we can get that down to 10%-ish, that spell will become just an absolute home wrecker against all of our enemies. It would be very, very good. So what haven't I done with darkness? So you have danger zone. We can do darkness and lightning. Unfortunately, I missed out on. It looks like we only... Okay, so we can't do any combinations right there that are going to be useful. Let's go back down. I'm really tempted to do the boss right now, but then again, we might get a room with a bunch of hearts in it or something. Oh, we got axe zombies. Okay, that's like the same thing. So what I need to do, like, right this second is I need to kill them before they rage out again and throw more stuff at me. Because they double their attack speed once they have those little... I don't know. Those little... They squeeze really hard. They have, like, those little stress veins on their foreheads. There we go. And so let's grab a couple runes right here. We'll give ourselves something to play with. We did get a heart out of that one, and so that's going to help out a little bit. And in fact, that's the end of the floor. So let's go ahead and do some combinations here with water. What haven't I done with water? So we have water and earth that I've never done. We have water and light I've done. Water and speed. Water and fire. And double water? I've never done double water. Really? Interesting. I would swear that I would have done double water by now. It seems unlikely to me. I don't know. Let's kill a boss. Okay, we got Ailla again. I don't think this is going to be so bad, in fact. Ailla I know how to deal with at this point, aside from that death laser. The death laser is still concerning for a number of reasons, but as you can see from right there, we already, like, one of our abilities right there did a lot of damage. Unfortunately, we ate a bunch of damage from that death beam, too. Damn it. Okay, so we need to just, like, stay moving. Okay, well, that's what I get for saying Ailla's not a problem. Ailla is totally a problem. I'm gonna drop that right there. We're just gonna hope for the win. Ooh, okay, so we died, so we lost all of our traits just now, but that's why I take that ability, because it buys you a second lease on life. If it keeps us up a little bit longer, we might as well use it. So we've got Banshee Wail. Whenever we cast a class ability, we do a knockback around us, or I can get Holy Crusader back, or I can get Rune Drop Chance back. I'll probably go with Holy Crusader, just get that back on my side. Let's go ahead and grab these health packs, and then we are down to the next floor. Off we go. I think I'll probably increase my damage by 5% here, and then we're going to continue our way down to floor numero 4. That was actually a really, really small floor 3. Looks like we've got like an earth elemental place. I don't know if I've ever had this dungeon set up before. We've gotten like no entropy runes, which is really a little bit concerning considering the build that I'm trying to run right now. I would really prefer... I'm going to drop that right there, and then I'm just going to hope for some death to happen. Sometimes that's the best that you can hope for in this game, just hope that death happens. There we go. So we've got some more spreader. Oh, he's still up here. Okay, or she. It sounds like a she, actually. And again, it could be like a male ghost with a female-ish voice. I'm not really sure. We're missing a rune here somewhere. Where is it? Rune? Oh, there it is. It's up against the wall. It's like the same color. Okay, so we could do a triple combiner right now if we wanted to. Like light, darkness. Dark bow. It debuffs the enemy. Shoot a gray spectrum of light. Enemies in the light are applied a different curse based on their distance from the caster. Okay, that doesn't seem too incredibly useful. I mean, it looks awesome. It looks like something that Zio would fire at you in Phantasy Star 4. But, oh, I'm eating axe. I'm eating so much. Oh, that is troublesome. Okay, so he's got to go, like, right this moment. Because if he pins us in one spot when they burst out with their axe, we are done for. It will be game over for us. We will ne'er again move our way through the halls of runers. There we go. We got that. I'm going to grab the entropy rune. After I say that, they're going to drop one. Maybe I should say it more then. We never get entropy runes. I want more entropy runes. We got the bias up to 12. Let's go ahead and... I'll hold on to my runes. I want to use some of these combiners to learn new things. The only ones that I 100% have to apply are going to be things like chain lightning. There's a speed... Didn't I was missing like air and speed or something? Let's have a look. Vacuum. Or it was like... It was light and... Wait. I think my game book just broke. Hold on. There we go. Or maybe I clicked something wrong. I'm not really sure. What do I have? I have... What can I do with earth right now? We can make earth and water, which we've never done. So we get mudslide, which is the ability that the enemy is always shooting at us. Its cooldown's kind of long, so I wouldn't trust in it as a main ability, but it could be useful. More useful than dark bow anyways. Dark bow doesn't even deal damage, so... If it don't deal damage, that dog don't hunt. I'm not really interested. Oh, big ass bat. Jesus. Okay, so we got like a summoner guy back there who's summoning that thing. There it is. So we got rid of the bat. I don't know if these guys have looted anything, but I should probably kill them. Oh, he gets that little earth spell, the 3 earth or whatever it is, Gaia's Protection or whatever that spell was called. We had it in one of our previous playthroughs, and it worked out pretty well for us. It was a cool ability. It was just difficult. I think it had a really, really long cooldown, so it was difficult to keep it up and useful, giggity. And so that's definitely like the point at which that's what she said joke would be appropriate. Ooh, I am getting stunned to oblivion right now. Couple of speed runes right there. Luckily, we've got a little bit of a hard chin on us, so a little bit of extra damage for the more damage that we have missing as well. So right now, we should have like... I think we get for every 2 health missing. Is that what it is? I think it's for every 2 health missing, we get 1%. So at the moment, we should have like 16%, I think. That was weird. Maybe chain lightning did it. I don't know. It just seemed like that heart spontaneously spawned here. It was like, it is I! The hot container. He just arrived with much fanfare. He showed up like he was the... Hold on. I can do this. You gotta give me a second. Showed up like he was the Wizard of Oz with all kinds of fanfare. It's okay. If I had a bunch of, like, Munchkin minions that all worshipped me and whatnot, I'd show up with fanfare, too. I'd be like, it is I! I would just have all kinds. I would shoot fireworks. Like, I would have, like, a back-mounted firework launcher everywhere that I went because they don't understand how fire... Will you stop flying around, you little firebat dick? God. Another enemy down, although we lost health on that room, which is a little bit disappointing. We got a mind rune right there. Anyways, if I had that kind of influence, I would always show up looking fly. I'm just going to sit in the middle of this thing right here because that tends to be your best plan when you're in a bat-infested room. These bounce around randomly. I've been studying some of the enemy types, just kind of watching them, like leaving one of them alive in the room. And the thing about the bats is that they actually pick a random direction when they collide with the wall. Sometimes they get stuck, though, so I think the coding might be a little weird with them. I don't know if they're just, like, plotting where they want to go or waiting for, like, motion or something, but no idea there. But I let them flap around for a little while, and they don't bounce off the way that, like, your screensaver bounces off the different sides. By the way, have you ever seen the screensaver hit the corner? It's pretty awesome. Where it just goes, and it hits the corner perfectly. It's pretty sweet. You should watch it. It happens sometimes. It looks like these guys are all going to move away from my AoE. Oh, now they're gonna step in it. Let me make sure this thief is up out of the way too. Haven't been using my class ability a whole lot, but I will. We'll use it at some point. Those guys make such a manly noise when they die. And then they just like fall over. It's great. I like to think that that's the noise that I would make when I was on my final, but I'd probably just bleep and make some kind of like really embarrassing noise would be my guess. Oh well, you can't get it all. Let's murder some enemies here. Oh, is this going to be stasis? Okay. So what do we have? These things are going to try and stun us. So we got to watch out for that. The sound that makes is pretty funny. There we go. So the bats should be dealt with very, very shortly. As should everything else. And there it is. So all we have left is the mirror. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Minus 4% cooldown sounds mighty fine right there. You always want to take the permanent bonus. Unless there's like a real reason, like your build is broken unless you can get the rune that they're offering. I would say you should always go with the passive ability just because any passive ability is better than a one-time use rune. Unless that rune gets you to a place you need to be for your build. Let's go down and we'll explore the bottom corner of the map. See what we have here. I'd love to make it to the second boss. I've made it a few times, but I've never beaten a second boss. The second boss tends to... They all have like a little bit more complicated. Essentially like their strategies are a little bit different. They add like different phases that must be dealt with in certain ways or else... Ooh, thieves trying to get up in here, trying to make a haul. I'm just going to grab one of these because I don't think I need the rest. We'll grab the runes up out of here. This room right here. Actually, I think that was the last room. Really? That's the last room, huh? Well then. I'm not sure how I feel about this right now. I guess we'll go back up. And we'll just leave. There's nothing else to really be said here, and I went the wrong direction. I do the same thing. Have you ever had like your GPS try and drive you off into a field? I can't decide if my GPS is trying to kill me in real life, but every now and again it says a road exists that does not exist. It'll be like, take a right on this and this road. And I'd be like, we are out in the middle of nowhere right now. Like, we are in the boonies along the coast. There is no road. If I take a turn right here, I'm going to go off a cliff into the ocean. And I hope that Garmin is ready for that legal situation if I survive it. If I don't survive it, man, you get off with it. Don't worry about it. Bullet size is what I'm going to go for right there. And on floor number 5, we will continue to ride. Let's destroy some of this stuff. God, we do so much damage with this spell. I really am excited about it. So double combiners. Let's see if we can mess around with mind runes. I think I've just about got everything with mind runes. We need mind and lightning, mind and light. And I have light, and I have mind. That's going to give me light wave. Okay. So it's another sort of wave-based... It looks like it goes through the enemies. Hold on, let me play around with this for a second. We'll use it in the next room and see how it goes. I don't think it's going to be as good as like our buffed up. Oh yeah, it does. It penetrates, but when it hits a wall, it finishes. Interesting. And how does it buff? Damage from light, duration from mind. Okay. I'll put it on the shelf for a little while. Maybe we can buff it up and make it worth using. Other things that we want to look at. We've got a couple double combiners here. Let's make sure that we aren't missing anything. So water and fire we're missing. I'm going to sacrifice a fire right there to get it done. Elemental Helix. I know that I've had that spell before. Maybe it's in my other profile. Maybe it's in my other profile. Not a very good spell though. All things considered, I don't like it very much at all. I don't use it. I mean, the Helix gets wider if you put water on it, and then the damage goes up if you put fire on it, but I didn't find it to be that compelling of a spell. I mean, there are a lot of mediocre spells in this game just because they have a lot of spells going on. I mean, the game has a lot of spells. We've got lightning and mind, so I'm not going to be able to do that one. What can we do with speed? Speed and water, speed and fire, speed and lightning. So we got speed and water. Let's make that happen. Ice bolt fires a bolt of ice that leaves a trail behind it that slows movement of enemies who walk on it. That's pretty cool. Although the damage can't be buffed. I mean, we're basically just getting rid of most of these spells. I'm just doing research right now so that later on we can run down the list and be like, what do we have? I've never done double water. I should probably do that too then, right? Splash. Oh, that's kind of a cool ability. Shoots around you everywhere. What's the cooldown on it? a little under a second. I was going to say if that was spammable, it might actually be a really, really good deterrent spell. Especially if you had stacked up like knockbacks from earlier in the game. It could definitely have its uses. Let's sit on it for a little bit. I'm going to drop a fireball right over here, and then I'm going to stand in the center of it. And I killed. Nope. Die! Alright, let's get... I don't like any of these choices, really. Let's try that one. We've never taken it. Maybe it's more awesome than I think it is. Like, you're damn right I'm more awesome than you think I am. I have one of those old one-ended skateboards. I'm super cool. I have shaggy blonde hair and I go in and out of the bowl over and over again. I am super radical. Ooh, we don't want to be close to these guys. Nope. We want to be nowhere near those enemies because they will give us pain. Pain in copious quantities. Ooh. Damn, son. Guy had axes coming out everywhere. How do you even carry that many axes with you? He's like, oh, they're ethereal. Stop trying to analyze this scientifically. You can't explain it. You can't explain that. Drop that right there and hopefully score a couple kills on some of the nastier enemies. Ow. I hate that spell, that little pushback spell. Drives me nuts. If you ever get those things when you're trying to like escort you're trying to move crates around, or if you get the challenge where you got to push the crates into the holes and you get those things, it sucks because they also push the crates around. If you get the thing where you got to herd the wisps, I don't know, those things with that pusher spell, a little bit lame. And that heart just spontaneously arrived too. I like that we have options though on this floor. That makes me happy. We could try this again. All right, let's go for it. If I can do this in Grimrock, I can do it right here. I can do this. I believe in myself. Ah! Okay. I almost said a bad word right there, but I turned it into like... I turned it into undecipherable word. I was like... I started. I do have a foul mouth in real life. I really sincerely do, which is funny that I end up running like a clean channel that doesn't really swear that often. I mean, it sometimes gets a little dirty around here, but nothing a little bit of Lysol won't clean up. It's not, for example, like some of the channels I've been on where it's just like, you know, well, you know what I mean. You've probably seen those other LPers, and I'm not detracting from them. That's their style. It's all good. You want to do like an adult-oriented channel? All good. I just sort of made the call because like my grandma and stuff watches my videos, and I'm like, well... I'm not really interested in like destroying my reputation with my grandma, so that's cool. I like having videos that my family can show to like other family members without me having to worry like too much, without my brow becoming too furrowed and sweaty. Drop that right there for a sec. Wow, he has like his own little cadre of water bolts. That's pretty sweet. I wish I had a cadre of water bolts. I mean, you can have probably any spell that's in the game right now. Anything they cast, I think you can have. Ow! I just got poleaxed. That's horrible. There is a rather... Oh, it's summoning more of them. That's what happened there. Okay, so let's get rid of that. We'll go through here. We'll grab some of those. Awesome. Soul Rip paying through, as it always does, in massive, massive quantities. I love Soul Rip. Soul Rip is great. Especially if you can get like level 2 or 3 of it. It becomes just the spell of the week. You see what I mean about Lava Lake, though. I love Lava Lake. I like a lot of spells in this game, but there are certain ones that I always go for. Lava Lake being one of those. In fact, damn, I can't break any of this stuff. I'll break that, though, because I might as well. I can drop entropy on these. Yup. And then I can also increase the damage by a lot. So we'll go ahead and increase that up by a couple of points. Looking pretty good right now. Looking pretty good. Lava Lake, we don't have anything for. We could make the tick damage a little bit better right there. Why am I still rocking Mudslide instead of Splash, which seems a little bit more... Well, I mean, it's debatable, but anyways. Organize these because it makes me happy. I used to do this with my inventory in other video games too. Like, for example, in Baldur's Gate, I would organize things by type. Like, one character would carry armors, and then, you know, boots would go over here, and I don't know. Or I would just throw them like in a random barrel somewhere because the game would just store your stuff there forever. So Delta Spreader should be breaking up pretty quickly now with regards to its bias. Okay, I'll take it. Whatever. Ooh, Let's see if we can pull them back into there. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I don't know if they're carrying flaming staves or if those are just like giant ice cream cones that those wizards are carrying around, but either way, they have my attention. I prefer that it be the ice cream cone. I suppose I'll increase my chance to pick up more runes because that makes me... I mean, I haven't picked up a combiner in a while though, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do much research on this run. But I would like to. That doesn't detract from the fact that I would love to. I don't know why I dropped that right there. That was a giant screw up on my part. I shouldn't have done that. I don't even know that anybody even walked into it. I need to kill you, like, right this second. Because you were doing way... Axes are not for killing humans. Axes are for killing trees, sir. I think you need to go back to remedial axing school. I'm gonna go to... Oh, we've actually almost completed everything, but I need to grab health first. One of the major reasons why I like Soul Rip. Just leave health everywhere. I mean, you only get like 1 HP from it. Let me see here. Yeah, you get 1 HP from them, but I think if you take the health pack buff, it might stack. Don't quote me on it because I haven't tested it totally yet at all in any sense of the word, but I like Soul Rip. 1 health is better than no health, especially if you get like 5 of them in one room. That's a sizable amount of your health bar. I mean, it's not a ridiculous amount. It's like 5% of your health bar. I mean, it's better than not having 5 free health. Might be able to soak 1 more hit. And we're using up all of our reserve hearts right now, so hopefully the next room isn't too nasty. I think this room had an actual heart in it. Yeah, there it is. It had an actual heart. Let's go back down. We'll get this final room. I bet that's going to be the stairwell room, though. The floors don't tend to be very large like this. And then in the next episode, we'll be on to fight the second boss, I hope. Unless we die before we get there. I don't know if we've ever shown a second boss on this playthrough yet, but I would love to. I'm not sure what that is on the ground, but I'm going to make a quick judgment call here. It sounded like it just made the sound that Windows used to make back in the day when you did something that like it didn't like. And then we've got a pink rat over here, kind of like a punk rock rat that's just rocking its way through. Why am I losing health? Wow. That was... I'm not sure what I got hit by, but it hurt. It hurt a lot. Okay, and so that's going to be the end of the floor. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Runers. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, which will more than likely be the final one, because I've never beaten a second floor boss before. So there's kind of like a hard cap on where we can be right now. I'll see y'all later. Take care, everybody, and hi-do!